Hello. Well, this is Yak Fishing Forever. This was a trip that me and the boys took. It was with Nia and Sammy. We were on the Etowah River. This is River Park, Highway 9. This was more of an exploratory mission than a fishing trip. I mean, I was looking for a red-eye bass, but the idea is we wanted to take a look. We generally float this when the gauge is at about 1.5 feet in height and a flow of about 400 or so. That gives us a good flow and height. Last February in 2025, the gauge height went up to 19 feet at Kelly with a little over 6,000 for flow. As you can see, we've got a lot of trees that are down. There's a lot of places. Now the river keepers have come out and they've brought their chainsaws and they've cut areas so that people can get through. We're going to take a look and see just how many stick-ups, crossovers, deadfalls, strainers, things of this sort are located here on the river. You have to look not only down in the water, but keep your head up, watch what's going on around you. You can get hung up on some of these things that are there. As you can see, the bank is really cut out. Both sides of this usually is farmland. The bank usually was fairly level, but there's like a 5-foot cut in the bank here. If you had to get out, I don't know what you'd do. That'd be difficult to get through. Of course, I could hook up into a tree there, but get out of it. Keeping an eye on everything around you. So this video is about just under 15 minutes. This was an 8-hour trip, so I've cut it down quite a bit. Again, I'm looking for fish, but at the same time, I'm looking at a lot of these deadfalls. Georgia Kayak Fishing has a camp and paddle scheduled later in the year, and I wanted to let Nick Adams know exactly some of the stuff that he's going to have to talk to the people about. Some of the people are very experienced on rivers, and some of them a little less so. Again, this bank erosion, we get further down, it really showed exactly. Most of these trees that I'm showing here, this is new stuff that's dropped since February. Right? You have to kind of figure out where you're going to go through, how you're going to get through. Keep an eye on your rod tips, keep an eye on your gear. Be careful as to where you're going through. It is a beautiful section of the river. It goes through the Dawson wildlife area, and there's almost no houses or any development along the river here. This is an interesting place because on this section, it used to be closed off on the left with a gravel bar, and on the right you used to go through. I've got a video out there. My buddy Hop and I, we actually went to the right, got hung up on a couple logs, and rolled our kayaks on this. Right now, to the right, it is absolutely blocked. You can't get through there. To the left, the current has gone ahead. It made a new channel. The river keepers have gone ahead and they've opened it up, but it's fairly narrow. My paddleboard's about 40 inches wide. I had to fight the current to get across, make sure that I was going to get through there. And even when I was getting through, you'll see I tip a little bit to the left. Right, there was partial log buried right there. Got a little squirt. If you weren't careful with that, yeah, that would have rolled you right into it. Now it gets right down to the end here, points out. Nice gravel bed, but this was all gravel. You couldn't float through this thing last year at all. Again, you get into the middle of it, there's still stuff there, stuff that'll roll you. That area that's directly in front, that used to be all clear. Now there's like 20 foot of deadfalls in there. Areas that we used to fish quite a bit, gravel, the sand has been pushed up, makes it very shallow. There's a good steep drop in elevation from one end of this section to the other. As you can see, I mean, the water is super shallow, just getting through. Luckily enough, my paddleboard only draws about 4 inches, 2 or 3 inches of clearance, so I'm able to get through most areas like this. My buddy Nia was using a Hobie Lynx. He had very little trouble, and then Sammy's using Crescent Shoaly. A little bit deeper, but nobody lost any gear. Nobody got overly wet. And yes, by the way, we all did catch fish when we were going through. I did get my red eye, so I did get another portion of my Georgia Bass Slam. This area here, the river gets wide. Next thing you know, it gets shallow. But that shallow doesn't mean that it slows down. You know, it starts getting pretty bumpy on the rocks. Yeah, discretion's better part of valor. Get out. Yep, ain't gonna move. Old man has a hard time standing up sometimes after he's been sitting for a few hours. You know, I used to say that I ate too many Rice Krispies as a kid. Every time I stand up, it snap, crackle, pops on me. Yeah, I had a lot of mud on the kayak from other places, so yeah, splash a little water on it, and use whatever you got. Maybe you have to grab the handle in the front and pull it out a little bit. Yeah, and it still gets stuck. I mean, if you think about it, that's only, I don't know how you get through that unless you drag a little bit. The boys are up front, so they're having fun, laughing at me. All right, I just broke off. Well, put the rod up for a minute. Got something interesting. You can see some of the shoals that are up underneath us. This area here is known as radioactive rapids, and that's because there used to be a aircraft nuclear power facility in the 50s out here. They say this is the radioactive shoals. So it's not bad, pretty smooth. Boys are waiting. They want to videotape this. Little drops, nothing really serious. And then, you know, not paying attention of where the flow goes. Usually I know you go where the V is. This, oh yeah. Okay. going to stop this. All right, well, my computer turned off after 10 minutes, so I had to log back in. Anyways, I'll see if I can't repair some of that afterwards. Anyways, that second drop, I knew it was there. I knew that if I got hung up on it, yeah, no big deal. I didn't roll over. All right, this area here we were looking for, see if there's anything that stripers move up this river, and sometimes in the spring they'll hit stuff, but everything has been a little bit off. The second thing here, this is another one. This is called the Big Rock. Again, it's to the left. There used to be a mass of trees blocking it. If you went down to the to the right, there was a mass of trees, and if you went down to the right, you'd get hung up. But you could go between the rocks. But I don't see the trees down there on the right hand side, so I'm going to shoot that. Yeah. Right now the area has been blown out so much with the high water that came through that it's clear. The trees you can see there on the right hand side of the screen, they've been pushed away from that. It used to be almost like a bridge you could walk across. Yeah, gotta look for striper. We saw some. Nobody caught any, but still, again, like I was saying, this is more informative. It's always good to know where you're going. This is the end of the thing. They're down to Kelly now. Again, the whole area is covered in trees. Hey, I hope you like this. If you do, thank you. If you want to subscribe, it's yak fishing forever. Anyways, have a great day. Get out and paddle. Have fun. Where's my cursor?